All along during its evolution, hip-hop has always blended organic instruments with processed production styles. From Run DMC and Beastie Boys mixing guitars with drum machines, to Kanye's College Dropout turning crate digging into sample flipping, hip-hop thrives on the search for organic instrumentation played with an impeccable feel. And that's exactly how I would describe Tonalic by Celemony. Organic instruments played with an impeccable feel. So then let's see what type of hip-hop beat we can make with Tonalic. We'll explore Tonalic at every layer of beat production, the drums, the hooks, and the extras that bring it to life. Now, I don't know about you, but I start my beats with the beat, the drums. And in Tonalic, my first pick is Venzela Joy. If her drum feel is good enough for Beyonce, it is surely good for me. And honestly, any of these patterns could form a track. But this one stands out for its punch and its attitude. Just like I might do when working with a traditional audio loop in beatmaking, I can extend this Tonalic region so that the pattern forms the base of my beat. But even by just extending the length of that Tonalic region, I am not just looping the same audio over and over. I'm creating a performance, where the Tonalic engine has also captured and replicated Venzela Joy's unique human timing and feel, making the same subtle performance adjustments that she would make if she just continued playing this beat herself, with each measure being slightly different in all the right ways. If I double-click to access other variations and patterns in the set, I could drag a variation down to bar 4 for a little turnaround to the beat. Now let's dirty the drums with saturation, making them sound like they're pumping out of an overdriven ASR-10. I want to highlight Tonalic's Groove Master, since timing and swing are central to beatmaking. Instead of a basic click, I can set Joy's natural feel as the Groove Master, and every new Tonalic track I create will follow that feel. But I can also import a file as the Groove Master. Hip-hop producers often rely on the iconic MPC swing percentages. So in Tonalic, I can import one of the included MPC groove files, like a strong 16th note swing. The counterpart to the Groove Master is the timing control. Tonalic excels at capturing Joy's human feel, but I can decide how much of it I want to keep. At 100, everything locks rigidly to the MPC swing. At 50, I get the best of both worlds. Joy's timing adapts to the MPC swing while keeping her natural micro-timing and nuance, just as if she were playing to it live in the studio. Hip-hop has long used the technique of layering complementary drums. Instead of staying inside Tonalic, I'll head out onto Splice and do a little sample digging there. You might have done this yourself, finding two loops that work well when stacked together. But did you know that on bigger records, session drummers are often brought in to be that second layer on a song built around a loop? It's the blend of the sampler and the session player, man and machine, that can give a beat a sonic interest and a feel that's something else entirely. And so that's why I like the idea of blending the human performance nuance of Tonalic with the machine layer of a loop. I quickly found a loop with a more electronic tone, but a similar accent pattern to Joy's. I'll drop that on an audio track and revisit our Groove Master setting in Tonalic, because even though the accent patterns match, the feel between them is different, especially with the strong MPC swing set as Groove Master. But Tonalic can import a groove not just from MIDI, but from audio too. I'll export a couple bars of the drum loop on my audio track starting at bar 1, and then head back to Tonalic's Groove Master, where I will remove the MPC swing and click Import Groove again, this time selecting the audio file I bounced from my session. Tonalic analyzes the beat transients, maps its timing, and now my drums lock perfectly. And just like before with the timing control, I can make Tonalic fully lock in or keep some of Joy's original human feel. This is such a strength for me because it's not easy to make one audio sample adapt to another's feel. But Tonalic can adapt to my sample's feel, all while blending and retaining its own character too. The beat's working, so let's add a hook. I'll load another Tonalic, filter for distorted guitar, music lines, and check out some options. This line here from Tim Pierce grabs me. I'll drag it in and extend it. Now we've got a strong motif, but no harmonic context yet. In a previous video, you might have seen me bring in chords into Tonalic by either manually typing chords into the chord track, or you might have seen me use Tonalic's built-in chord assistant to build progressions with its color-coded guidance. But I know many beatmakers out there rely on another tool for their chord progressions. Scalar is a plugin dedicated to exploring, building, and even phrasing chord progressions. And one thing I can tap into here is its library of genre-specific chord sets. I mean, Hip Hop 1 already has a great sound to it. So sure, I'll put that progression together in Scalar's MIDI arranger. And here's the cool part. I select those chords and drag them across to Tonalic's chord track, and instantly Tonalic has the same chord progression loaded and Tim's guitar line has the same harmonic contour. In Tonalic Studio, I can take this guitar pattern and customize it further using Refine mode. With the pitch tool, I could take this series of notes that all pedal on the D note and move some of those down, achieving more of a continuation of the melodic line, like this. And with the amplitude tool, I could take this other similar section and reduce the dynamics of the on-beat notes, accentuating the upbeat notes in the process, like this. After adding some effects for lo-fi grit, the guitar feels perfect in the track. Now that I've got a progression defined in Tonalic's chord track, let's create another MIDI track and load another Tonalic instrument, this time for some guitar chords. Rhythm guitar, block chords, and what I'm hearing in my head here is guitar that's sort of like the old Motown records that accented the backbeat along with the snare drum on beats 2 and 4. And I could scroll down this list looking for Tonalic icons that might appear to have this type of backbeat accent, but I can also prioritize the sorting of these results based on musical parameters. So for example, I could sort this list so that the densest Tonalics appear at the top of my results, or the most sparse Tonalics. Or in my case, I could click on Beats and specify Tonalics that play on beats 2 and 4 to rise to the top of my list. And you can see from the Tonalic icons how my results start out with just those beats, and as I scroll down further into the results, we start getting Tonalics that, yes, play on beats 2 and 4, but also have more to their pattern than just those beats. Let's check these out. I think a lot of these could work, but I do like this Tonalic, because it even has that Motown-style reverb on it. I'll drag that into my track. Oh, but here's a creative tip. Endings as a category name in Tonalic makes sense, of course, because these chords ring out and are the perfect way to end a song. But what these Tonalics ultimately function as are also just sustained notes and chords. There's nothing stopping me from putting an ending, as it's called, somewhere in the middle of my track to get something like this. While browsing, I also found a small sonic candy Tonalic. I'll drop it in at the end to lead into a spot where vocals could go. From here, I'll step outside of Tonalic to finish the beat. An 808 bass line, chopped vocals, and even some vocal bars. Together with the Tonalic parts, the result answers my original question. What type of hip-hop beat can I make with Tonalic? The answer, straight up fire.
Heavyweight caliber, E-flow damager. Go toe-to-toe, bro, you might have the stamina. My dirty crew will send your big dogs to Battersea. You try to test this but lack the audacity. Geared up for trouble with a raw face, flowing over raw tapes till my jaw aches with the pure bass. Context of a complex individual, critical, putrid and pitiful.
Each time I explore Tonalic in a new genre, it impresses me with how it adapts to my style. The performances feel like a session player is right there in my track. But that's the key thing, they're playing to my track. And I also love how Tonalic isn't pushing loops or sample flipping out of my workflow, but instead giving me access to the added nuance and feel of organic instruments at the same fast-paced speed where hyper-creative beatmaking often happens. I've been experimenting a lot, and I have a lot more tips and tricks to share. So stay tuned and subscribe to Celemony's channels for more Tonalic explorations.